Hello. Okay. So I've decided it's a little late in the day, but it is Tarot Tuesday. We're going to get into this reading. I had a really cute day. It was kind of weird. Like it was just like things took several turns I wasn't expecting, but I tried to be optimistic about it and just have fun with it, and it worked out. So yeah. Um. Anyways, we are going to get into everything. We're gonna do those last. I like talking, but I also feel like most people are here for their message, so I'm gonna try to keep it limited. Let me. I want you to see me, but I think that frame is a little too wide. I mean, don't leave my mess. This is donations, and these are just my shoes. But don't look. Okay. That way you can just see the cards too. My whole place is kind of, cause it's kind of small, so I cram most things just together. Which I appreciate my place. I really love my home, but yeah, I do have to merge things often, and which I lived in a tiny house when I was living in Portland. So like I'm very accustomed to making small spaces work, and it actually works better for me because I don't have a lot of stuff. But the stuff that I do have, I love. So I have to make sure that I create space for it. Okay, Spirit. Great concise messages for the collective. What do we need to know? What's coming towards us within the next few weeks? What does the collective need to know? What messages do you have for us? What messages do you have for us today? Somebody doesn't want you to know. I'm just kidding. Great concise messages, Spirit. What's going on? What do you want us to know? Ooh. Maybe so. With the Seven of Cups. Let's take a fuck it, let's get into a story today. Let's find out. Okay. So our cards were we're starting off with the Seven of Cups, which unfortunately has a little bit of fuckboy energy attached to it. Well, it's more just like, and it can be good and bad. It really just depends on how you apply it. But it is very much illusions, or can be. It can be because it can also be daydreaming of and like coming up with being dreamy, coming up with new opportunities. But it does warn about projecting and like wanting something so much that you ignore the red flags. It's a good thing to daydream and to dream big, but don't become disillusioned and don't put so many ideas in your head that you then don't go after one, or you just stay lost in the clouds and don't ever ground your dream in reality. We have the Hermit here, which is the Virgo card. So it's very much like inner wisdom, going within yourself, taking experiences and past wisdom and applying them to your current situation. And there are some journeys you have to go on alone. And maybe part of this is a warning that, like, to others, your dreams may seem far-fetched. They may feel fleeting. They may be offering you other solutions out of their own understanding of life and fear-based projections. So maybe it's okay to keep things to yourself and to, still go after those things. But sometimes, and I'm usually not pro, like, move in silence, especially if people are posting about it, like you're not actually moving in silence. But sometimes it applies, and this might be one of those situations just because sometimes, even though the King of Swords is incredibly intelligent and can be very analytical and can see errors where maybe others wouldn't, very similar to how a Virgo can be. Like air signs and Virgos have in common, like being able to um, pinpoint areas that could be adjusted to improve. So this could be one energy you're taking on, but it could also be how others are acting towards your dreams, and it can be very piercing with their opinions of your dreams. Maybe this hermit could also be someone in your life who, because of their wisdom and experience, and their energy of been there, done that. They may be trying to cut you down because it didn't work out for them, or because it did work out for them. Blah blah blah. Take other people's opinions with a grain of salt. Like you are here to live your life. You don't need to let them in your head. You know what I mean? Take what resonates, leave the rest. If you're having a great conversation with someone and 90% of what they said was spot on, but then that 10% was like very negative or hurt you in some way that was like not beneficial or not needed, forget it. Like just don't hold on to it. I do see that there's kind of like with the Six of Cups, a playful energy here, sort of nostalgic. It could be literally someone from the past who maybe is coming back and kind of giving you this fuckboy energy. Maybe they're the reason you need to go hermit mode. But it could also just be that maybe you're tapping into that more playful side of you in this wishful energy. So again, that's why it's important that sometimes alone time can be so beneficial, because when you learn to stand up for yourself, to stand in your own beliefs, to get clear about what your beliefs are, nobody can fuck with you. Nobody can shake um, your foundations. And with the Lovers card, of course, that we know that's the divine counterpart. Like everybody wants the Lovers card. This can be for self love too, though. You can be your divine counterpart, and then in that self actualization, you are able to meet your true soulmate. You know what I mean? And you're manifesting everything. You have all of the tools that you need, and they're all available to you. You have everything that you need, and you're making things happen. Which is what I actually really appreciate about the Seven of Cups, because I don't think it's only a negative card. It definitely has negative connotations, depending on how it shows up. But I think it's also an energy of manifestation and of believing in yourself and of being youthful and energetic and analytical, but not so much that you kill the dream completely. I think it's a really great way to that. I think it's an energy that innovators and creators have, which could pertain to you. You could be an artist. You could be a writer. There is like an energy here of maybe you're communicating something in a unique way. Because with the Queen of Cups, this is very in touch with your emotions, which is also giving me kind of like an intuitive and psychic, and that's also kind of giving me artist energy. You could also be maybe a tarot reader or doing some sort of healing arts, however you want to refer to that. I know a lot of people have opinions on that term, but yeah, maybe you are tapping into that side of you that wants to be nurturing and flowing and can sense the energies around you, and you're able to not I don't want to say manipulate that, because I think that you're doing it for the greater good, although there is kind of a manipulative energy with the Seven of Cups, so watch out for that. Um, but I think you just kind of like are learning more about how you control situations and how you are able to handle social situations, handle romantic situations, handle work situations, handle this or that by owning up for your side of things, for standing in your truth and recognizing your power, which is really important. Like, yes, of course, you can use that negatively, but if you're someone, this doesn't seem that way. It seems like someone who has good intentions. It seems like someone who is loving and kind and playful and creative and wants to nurture and help people. So by learning more about yourself and standing in your truth, I feel like you're better able to serve others. And there is a victory here. with the Six of Wands, it's very much like you're moving forward, you're getting what you're going after. People are seeing you, and which is also why it's nice sometimes to move in silence, because I know in the social media age, we are all, whether we mean to or not, subtly competing with each other, and it can be really disappointing and disheartening. And sometimes we want to tell people everything, but sometimes it's better to wait until you have the gold medal or you have whatever it is that you've been working for so that you can show that. And I'm someone who's very prone to being like, guys, guess what I'm doing? And then either I got tired of the situation or it wasn't for me and I didn't do it anymore, XYZ, or they got into my head and I allowed them to stop me from moving forward, which isn't okay either. Um, so maybe yeah, you're keeping this to yourself. You're grounding it in reality. You have this dreamy energy. Don't get up there. Hey, come sit. Come here. Come here. Come and sit. Good boy. So yeah, no, like there definitely is like it's very esoteric. It's like very spiritual energy surrounding this. Like you I feel like your focus right now is on healing and on self-care and on bettering yourself in all aspects of your life, which is really exciting. And with the Ten of Wands, there may be some more burdens that come with that, just because like any sort of transition does um, come with uncomfortable moments and with some burdens, but it could be good stress as well. Be careful that you're not being sneaky. Again, this could be with the Seven of Wands, it could be that you are being deceitful, it could be someone's deceiving you, but it could also be that this whole moving in silence thing, maybe, especially if you're someone who's so naturally open and you kind of wear your heart on your sleeve, it may have you feeling like you're being sneaky because you just want to get this done and you want to have this successful story, but and you want to tell people, but you just don't need the negative energy right now. I'm not saying that everyone would, but you know, if you're someone who is sensitive to other people's opinions and feelings, sometimes it's better to keep things hush hush. But yes, again, do watch out for if you are being manipulative, if you are being deceitful, you need to pull that back because karma will get you. If you feel that someone else is being that way to you, um, consider cutting them off. You don't always have to cut somebody off just because you feel like they're doing something. Communicate to them, depending on where they are in your life and how important they are. But with the Sun card, that is energy across the board. You are energized right now. You are hyped. You are loving yourself. You're feeling yourself. You feel excited for the opportunities that you're taking and the creative projects that you're engaging in. You're taking on new hobbies, you're doing self-care, you're being flirty, you're meeting people. I love this. Keep doing that. And yes, you're keeping it low key, which is a good thing. Spirit, is there anything else you want us to know? Any other messages for the collective? Clear, concise messages, Spirit. What else should we know? Doesn't feel like a love reading. This feels very like you're focused on yourself. That doesn't mean that love can't be around the corner, but it feels more aimed at like a personal growth type situation. Anything else there? Ooh. There's like so many messages. Do you want me to tell them all of this, girl? I mean, I'm taking it back. That was too many. We're gonna try again. Sometimes I need them to be clearer with me, and I'm not afraid to ask Spirit to clarify because, you know, sometimes I'm like, that's so many things. Clear, concise message. Okay, yeah, I'll take that. Okay. It actually fell out a little bit. Okay. So, any other? Let me clarify these little final message. That bitch is stalking me. This card. Well, they're stalking you, really, but they want you to really engage in that. I'm gonna pull up a couple. Okay. You're going through a transformation. You got the Death card here. That could be, you've got the Leo energy with the Sun card, Gemini with Magician, and well, Lovers as well, Gemini, Virgo with, yeah. So death is Scorpio. You've got yeah, we'll get to it. Okay. So you're going through this transformation. You're shedding this old self. It may be uncomfortable. It may be painful. You've got the Ten of Swords here. So either this transformation that you're undergoing, maybe it was triggered by a traumatic ending, or a betrayal or a painful situation, but it's pushing you to imagine all the possibilities of what could come next. Um, that doesn't mean it's not scary. And maybe that's what some of this sneaky energy is about. Like, maybe you don't know who to trust right now, which can be, especially if you're in a dark place, can be so painful and so lonely. And you have the Hermit card here, you have the King of Swords, you have so many cards that are kind of like having to go it alone and having to be strong and defend yourself. Um, and being resilient, which is beautiful, but also is hard. We have to acknowledge, like, nobody can get to these points of strength without having to go through something that is like extremely painful first, and can be lonely. But either way, you're still finding a way to be positive and optimistic about it and full of energy with the Queen of Wands. Even if you are maybe keeping your feelings low key, you're still like talking to people, you're still going out, you're still trying to, it could be keeping a brave face, but I also just think that you are the type of person to believe that the best is yet to come and that you're just trying to roll with the punches. I do see you as a very resilient person. This is a resilient reading. So even if there has been betrayal and heartbreak and sorrow in this transformation is leading you forward in a way that has you excited. You still feel energized by it, and you're trying to see the best in the situation. With the Temperance card, that's another very optimistic sign. It's a sign of giving yourself grace for sure. I actually want to look something up just because it's been popping up so much. I want to see if there's any specific advice that anyone has, or that one of my. I have a few different apps that kind of do very short little breakdowns of the cards, and I like hearing the interpretations. This one that I'm using right now is just Galaxy Tarot. It's just something you can download on Android. So it's time of adjustment. Two or more things are coming together. You may be integrating your life with someone else's, integrating your work and home lives, or integrating spirituality into your everyday life. This is a very spiritual spread. Like, I have felt very much like it was coming up that way. So it could be just that you're taking more time for yourself and integrating like meditation into your day-to-day life, taking more walks, being a part of nature, breath work. Maybe you're doing tarot readings for yourself or just watching more. Find your balance before moving forward. Use your emotions and be practical too, which I really like about this card because it's like this ethereal being who is dipping her toe in the water, who's pouring these cups, who's standing on solid ground while also the air lifting up between their legs. So it's very similar to the Magician in the sense that like they have all of the elements pictured and they know how to use it. So keeping that optimistic spiritual energy and treating yourself with respect and like you are a sacred being. Because with the Ace of Cups, you do have new feelings on the way, and you do have your intuition is going to be, which we have with the Queen of Cups, with the Hermit, with the Magician, with all of these cards. Really, like, I'm getting a sense of just like heightened intuition at this time and being very perceptive to the other side, bitch. Like, I don't know how to explain that, but like you're sensing things and picking up on things in a way that I'm sure you're already a very naturally intuitive person, but right now it feels like maybe you have a dream about somebody and they text you the next day, or maybe you're seeing more angel numbers and when you look them up it's exactly what you needed to hear, or it's exactly about your situation. I feel like you're just like more perceptive to spirit right now and in communicating with them and with your ancestors, and that's just a very exciting thing. So allow that to happen. Allow those feelings to flow. Acknowledge your feelings during this time because it also seems like you have some burdens and some pains here, but it's okay to dream big and to know that you're going to be successful, and that no matter what, like, the underdog story is worth it. If for what you're going to get, it's okay to have this little struggle era because you're going to come out on top. Let's pull some advice cards and affirmation. Clear, concise messages. Spirit. Okay. We have harmony. I receive all that is for me and let go of the rest. I receive all that is for me and let go of the rest. My way. There is no right timeline to live life by. I take my time to do things the best way for me. There is no one right timeline to live life by. I take my time to do things the best way for me. Solace. My mental health is very important. I choose happiness for the sake of my own well-being. My mental health is very important. I choose happiness for the sake of my own well-being. Abundance. My cup overflows and my heart's desires are fulfilled. My cup overflows and my heart's desires are fulfilled. I love that. Okay, well, thank you so much for tuning in. That was TK Tarot for Tarot Tuesday. This is your reading, collective message. It is pretty much, all of my messages are timeless, though they can apply directly to, like right now we're in October, so if it resonates within this month, if you see it within this month, great. But if you somehow watch this like 6 months later and it perfectly applies, like, this was meant to find you when it was meant to find you, okay? So that's all today, my little treasures. Feel free to subscribe or comment below, and have a lovely rest of your week. I will see you on Thursday. Okay, bye.